Welcome to the debauchery.
Today we'll take a look at arguably the world's most heinous serial killer pedophile, Albert Fish. Plus we answer your mail call questions, give an update on Rex Heuermann, architect. And Garrett tells us the fastest way to go to jail in Florida is to crash your car through its front door. Also, stay tuned after the main story for another installment of Dear Douchebags.
Oh, we're back, baby.
Yes, sir. I'm Dave Jari.
I'm Garrett Corder.
And this is Criminal as Fuck.
Match is criminal as fuck.
What's good, all you criminals, debauched, and true crime douchebags out there, and welcome to another episode of Criminal AF. Once again, I am Dave Jari, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Garrett Corder.
How we doing?
We'd like to give a huge Criminal AF shout-out to the newest member of the debauched, Bree Alpha. Thank you so much, Bree, and welcome to our fucked up family. We have some Rex Heuermann, architect.
Rex Heuermann.
Yeah, we got some
architect.
updates. And this comes from the Associated Press. The New York architect accused of murdering multiple women and leaving their corpses scattered along the Long Island coast kept a blueprint of his crimes on his computer.
Not well hidden
No.
blueprint either by any means.
Yeah. And prosecutors revealed Thursday as they also brought charges against Rex Heuermann and two more killings, Garrett. Two more killings.
Yep.
So Heuermann, 60, appeared before a judge to be arraigned in the deaths of Jessica Taylor and Sandra Castillo, two young women who were long suspected of being the victims of men preying on sex workers. Right. So he had previously been charged with the murder of four other women in a string of deaths known as the Gilgo Beach serial killings, or LISK, the Long Island serial killer. So Taylor disappeared in 2003. Castillo was killed 30 years ago in 1993. And her inclusion in the case indicates that prosecutors now believe that Heuermann was killing women for much longer. That's not funny. Was killing women much longer than previous thought.
You're about to get canceled. Trying to do a fucking news update.
Right. Yeah. So the new charges came after recent police searches of Heuermann's Massapequa Park home in a wooded area of Long Island tied to the investigation. Right. Now, in a court filing, prosecutors said that they were able to use new forensic testing methods. I wonder what that is. To match hairs found on or near the vicinity of both victims to DNA profile that is likely matched to Heuermann.
Here, architect.
Additionally, this is going to go well. Additionally, prosecutors say they recovered the file on a hard drive in his basement used to methodically blueprint his killings.
Yep.
It's wild. The document written in all caps, that alone should tell you that he's a fucking serial killer.
The best part about this, too, is if you guys have a chance to actually go look at the documents, it's like a, I don't know, I'm younger. I'm in the younger generation. So I came from when they did they taught Excel, Word, and stuff in school.
Right.
It looks like my fourth grade Excel class made a spreadsheet. I don't know. Go look at it. it's so funny to me.
Oh my God.
He has no clue. It's just this is what you do. This is what you do. This is what you do. It's just funny. Hilarious. It's very funny.
All right. So this document, it features a series of checklists with tasks to complete before, during, and after the killings. As well as practical lessons for, the next time you kill somebody. Among the dozens of entries written are reminders to clean the bodies and destroy the evidence, and to get sleep before the hunt.
Yes.
Very important. Make sure you're well rested.
You got to go through your killer checklist on Excel.
And make sure you, quote unquote, have your story set. Now, one section is titled Things to Remember, and it appears to highlight lessons from previous killings, such as using heavier rope and limiting noise in order to maximize playtime.
Oof, that's creepy.
Yeah. A body prep checklist includes, among other items, a note to remove the head and hands.
Which he didn't do to all his victims.
No, not all of them. Prosecutors believe that the entry may connect Heuermann to yet another victim, Valerie Mack, whose partial skeletal remains were discovered near the body of Taylor after her disappearance in 2000. Heuermann has not been charged in the death of Mack, but asked during a news conference after Thursday's hearing if he was a suspect. District Attorney Ray Tierney replied, "That's fair to say."
Yeah, AKA.
Yeah.
We're on to you.
Yeah, he's a fucking suspect. So Tierney also acknowledged that the blueprint document, which Heuermann had attempted to delete, was a significant impetus for the renewed search along Long Island in recent weeks. as it was recovered in March for more than 350 electronic devices that were seized from his home.
That's impressive.
350.
I'm trying to think. 350, that's a lot of electronic devices.
Well, he had all those burner phones. So there's probably like 100 burner phones at least.
I know. It's just, that's a crazy amount because I'm trying to think of actually how, if they seized my, if they raided my house, how many devices would they have? It wouldn't even be close.
No.
And I have a lot.
Yeah, not fucking 350.
350. You're up. Anybody over 100 devices.
I would say over 50.
Something's up here.
Yeah. Well, what was it? It was him, his wife, and he had 2 kids?
That doesn't matter. I'm a family of 4 too.
Do you have more than 50 devices?
No, I have less than 10.
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
350 is crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. All right. So Heuermann pleaded not guilty to killing Taylor and Castilla during a hearing and was ordered held without bail. Well, he ain't fucking going nowhere.
No, yeah.
His lawyer, Michael Brown, said outside of court that Heuermann is obviously in a bad place in terms of these new charges. Yeah.
Yo, all right, we're going back to last week's episode. Yeah. Fuck defense attorneys.
Yeah. Wow, Paula Flint, you heard that?
He's in a bad place right now.
He's in a bad place.
Shut up.
Afterward, Tierney said that the additional charges provide some small measure of closure for the victims' families. So, yeah, there's that.
He's going down regardless.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
One way or another.
He's not going to get all convictions, but he'll be convicted for some.
Well, yeah, I think he'll at least be convicted on these 6.
Yeah.
At least. All right. Before we jump into all the shenanigans today, we just need to go over some things regarding Criminal AF. We are a comedic informative true crime podcast, Garrett. And, it's kind of like a ish. Heavy on the ish. Right?
Heavy on the ish, for sure.
Meaning we'll be talking about some true crime, like our main story in Florida Man, but we'll also be talking about some things not related to true crime, like mail call, and whatever rabbit holes our ADHD brains lead us to.
Yeah, which is
quite a bit.
Yeah.
But whatever we talk about, we'll be having some fun while we're doing it. Sometimes, we find that certain aspects of these stories are particularly funny, and sometimes, we just like calling out a fuckhead for being a fuckhead.
Yes, sir.
If this is your first time joining us, you're about to experience 2 guys who have zero filter, and we fucking swear a lot.
Speaking of zero filter.
Yeah.
First ADHD tone is black people mac and cheese better than white people mac and cheese?
Oh, 100%.
Well, 100%.
100%.
Oh my God, this is glorious.
Yeah. White people mac and cheese is just like Kraft.
Yeah.
You just go to get the box.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
Or they literally put a bowl of fucking cold noodles and throw some cheese on there. That's
I like a little splash of milk.
No, you gotta have some flavor to it. All right, go ahead. All right, my bad. Go ahead.
With all that being said, we do discuss some pretty horrific and tragic stories that involve murder.
Yay!
Rape.
Aww.
And torture.
Okay, I can get into it.
Yeah, we will not shy away from the most gruesome of details, regardless of how disgusting they may be. Now, we understand that Criminal AF is not for everyone. Hey, and that's okay. We just ask that you at least give it a listen. And if it's not for you, thanks for checking it out.
See ya.
But if it is, welcome to the debauchery. Now head on over to criminalasfuck.com for all of your Criminal AF needs. If you can't write the word fuck in your browser, then you can go to criminalalfpodcast.com or criminalaf.llc. They take you all to the same place. Now, from there, you can check out all of our episodes, videos, reviews, send us messages for mail call and Dear Douchebags, as well as join our Patreon for as little as $2 a month for general support. Now, while you're checking out Criminal AF, go check out our merch.
I got it.
You're going to hit it, say it, and then go back and unhit it? All right.
Go get you some merch.
Yes, sir.
We're obviously not working with our producer here, guys.
Producer. He had to go. We're adding new styles and designs all the time, so dig deep into your voyeuristic selves and go peep some of our stuff.
I do love voyeurism.
Oh yeah, I love watching. You can go. You can also go. I'm a purple scrunchie.
A purple scrunchie?
Yes.
That's voyeurism?
Yeah, that's you want to watch.
I will say, if I was going to be in that community.
Yeah. You'd be a purple?
Just throw the purple up there and be like, hey, let me just invite me to, I want to just hang out.
Yeah.
Let me get a couple beers.
Yeah, just set me up at a chair in the corner.
Yeah, I'll actually coach you too. I'll coach you through it.
Like, I'd be like, yeah.
Come on. That's all you got?
Yeah. You gotta put some of them hips into it, bro. Come on.
Munch on that thing.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Keep going. See, this is gonna be. Listen, I got makers and ginger. All right, this is one of those episodes today.
We've partaked since I don't know.
Well, we're trying to set up studio chloroform.
Yeah. Anyway, you can also go visit our friends over at welcometothe-debauchery.com, where you can find ourselves, Fright Flick FMK, and True Crime University. Finally, if there's one thing that we ask of you, is that you go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Good Pods and leave us a 5-star rating, a positive review, and click the share button. It costs you absolutely nothing to do, and it will help us immensely in spreading the word that Criminal AF is
Wait, I got to hit the echo voice.
The
number one true crime podcast in the world.
Mail call.
Oh, my God.
Mail call.
All right, it's time for Mail Call, where you send in your questions and we answer them honestly and truthfully. No secrets allowed. Could be anything you want to ask. True crime questions, of course, but also, anything you want to know about us. Our deepest, darkest secrets, our hopes and dreams, and whether or not Garrett is a top or a bottom. Nothing is off limits. Now, I
think you know.
Yeah. Garrett says I'm going to be a bottom. I
would
that.
Totally top Dave. Stop.
No, I don't see that.
Listen, it's that front you put on. I know deep down you want to be a little.
Yeah, I want to be domed.
You want to be domed deep down. It's all a fugazi, a fugazi.
Yeah. Now, we try to get to all the questions, but for time purposes, we can only do 3 or 4. So if you don't hear yours this episode, it'll be coming up in a future episode. And first up, we have Kate Go and a friend down there from Down Under.
Down Under Kate.
Yeah, she has a 2-part question. What did you guys think of Baby Reindeer? Did you watch it?
No.
That stalker, on Netflix?
I didn't see it.
You didn't watch it?
No.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm answering this one.
I didn't see it yet.
Okay. I watched...
We've worked so much out overtime in the last time.
I get it, yeah. I watched, under the, the recommendation of Kate, actually, and a few other people from work. I did start watching it.
It's definitely on my list. I got a backlog right now.
All right. Well, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I will say
it's okay.
I've watched maybe 3 episodes of it.
Okay. 4,
and I had to turn it off. I was over it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so then maybe I skip it.
Well, you might like it.
Okay.
But basically, so the Baby Reindeer story is about a guy who has a stalker.
Okay.
All right. It's this lady, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, my God, look at me. Oh, I had a fucking stalker. Oh, woe is me. I made a story about it. Okay. True story. But as I'm 3 or 4 episodes into it, I'm like, this dude is kind of egging her on.
He likes it.
Yeah.
I think that happens more than people realize.
Yeah.
There's probably people it's just everybody loves the idea of being wanted, right?
Yeah. So
who cares if it's the creepy guy who sits outside your window with a knife? He likes you.
Yeah. Yeah. He just wants to watch. Just let him watch. Let him watch. But anyways, yeah, so I don't know. I was watching this and I'm like, this dude deserves everything he gets. Because he's, like I said, he's egging her on. He's kind of leading her on a little bit. Some of the actions that he does is kind of misleading to her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. He got what he deserves.
Good take. I like the take.
I stopped watching it because I'm just like, this guy's a fucking idiot, and you're pissing me off. So yeah. So that's what I thought about Baby Reindeer.
Isn't it amazing how men just this if you're a man and a woman stalks you?
Yeah.
It's not even close to the same thing as a male stalker on a female.
No,
a female
dudes
is
are crazy.
dudes are crazy.
Dudes are fucking crazy.
It's you're not scared for your life. If a male stalks a female, it's creepy, it's scary.
They're in your closet.
Yeah, they go in your house.
Right.
They're it's just a totally different atmosphere.
Yeah, I think a woman stalker, I could be wrong, but I think a woman stalker is more they try to hack into your Facebook.
Yeah.
It's more
try to split up your marriage.
Whatever. Let me check his messages.
Yeah.
Kind of
they
thing.
do. Yeah. But I'm sure there is where we would be proven wrong. There's somewhere out there.
Oh yeah,
some lady has
boiling a fucking rabbit in the fucking stove. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I thought about Baby Reindeer. I mean, some people like it. Wasn't for me. The guy fucking annoyed the shit out of me.
Gotcha.
And he deserves everything he got. But anyway,
I'll give you my take when I actually watch it.
Okay. Now her second question is, can you clarify post nut clarity? So we did episode, who was it? Fucking the motherfucking virgin.
Yeah.
Where he planned on killing his mother.
Yep.
And then killing his sister.
Yep.
But after he killed his mother,
he got post-nut clarity.
And was like, you know what? I don't really want to kill my sister anymore. You know? Like that urge kind of goes away.
So post-nut clarity. Go ahead, Dave. You take it off.
All right. Well, post-nut clarity can mean a variant thing. So it could be like actual like sex. You know, like you're at work and you're like, oh my God, I'm fucking so horny right now. And you're like, ugh. Then you go home and you have sex with your wife or whatever, or a random stranger. And after you nut, you're like, okay, I'm good. You know, whatever. And it could also be like, you know, if you're scrolling like porn or something.
Yeah.
And you come across a scene and, you know, you fucking do your thing. And then afterwards you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
Why did I do that for?
Yeah. It also can be, you know, post-nut clarity could be the 2 a.m. bar's about to close. You pick up a girl.
Yeah.
She's not.
Yeah.
She's not the girl you wanted to bring home, but she was.
However, you're going to do it.
Yeah, you're going to do it. And then once after you bust.
Yeah. You're like,
it's that moment after a man releases. That sounds so fucking disgusting.
No, it is, yeah.
But that you realize all your choices up to that point were just horrible. And then you want to run. You want to run away to the hills. Yep. And that even happens in like, you know, people, you hear stories about guys who are just like, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Yeah.
After it's I don't know, it's primalistic maybe, because you're trying back in the you know, the caveman days, we were just trying to bust a nut and run,
right. Anything you could.
Yeah.
Once you bust, you're fucking out.
Yeah, you're out. There's saber-toothed tigers chasing you and shit. You know what I mean? So that's why, ladies, if a man comes quick, that's a primal urge and a primal instinct that we have, all right? We got to get the job done and we got to be in and out. Listen, there's I said saber-tooth. There's saber-toothed tigers chasing us, all right?
Yes.
So truthfully, your man's actually more of a man if he comes fast.
There you go. Garrett logic right there. Garrett logic.
He's at roots with his primal urges.
Yeah. I like it. I'll go with that. Yeah.
Yep. So that's post-nut clarity. That's pretty much wrapped up in a nutshell. But the porn thing is real. You'll be like, oh, you'll be into it. You'll do your thing, and then you'll be like, oh, what the fuck am I watching?
What was I? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. What was I thinking?
Oh, it's shame.
It's basically shame.
After you come, you're just shame.
You're disgusted in yourself.
It's like a fucking like a Protestant like nun just like shame.
Now there have been some pretty famous post-nut clarity serial killers. You know, kind of like the GOAT Ed Kemper.
Yeah.
You know. He
just gave up.
He killed his mother, the subject of his fucking rage. Yep. And fucked her body and her face and everything. And he was like, I'm going to turn myself in.
Yeah.
I'm good.
He ended it all off of a fucking post-nut clarity.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Vision.
He did life in prison off of post-nut clarity.
Yep.
So that's that. So thank you very much, Kate Goena. That was a good question.
Yeah, that was a good question.
All right. Next up, we have Dylan, 8722. And Dylan asks, if you could have 10 minutes with any serial killer, who would it be and what would happen? Ooh, what would happen?
10 minutes? That's such a tough question to answer off the top of the dome. I don't know. Go ahead.
Well, everybody knows my fucking
Kemper.
Yeah, my serial killer crush is Kemper. So that would be. I mean, that's the easy answer. I'll probably have to go with BTK.
Listen. All right. Go ahead. All right. I literally thought of that 2 seconds ago.
So my 10 minutes with BTK would consist of me beating the living piss out of his fucking disgusting, gross ass fucking face.
BTK got to me.
Yeah,
that's one of the stories that I've this episode obviously is titled Albert Fish, right?
Skull.
So we know he's the biggest scumbag of all time, piece of shit.
Yeah,
but the BTK episode always gets to me. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, out of all the serial killers, BTK is probably the biggest fucking scumbag there is alive.
See, I instantly thought for me, I would kind of go into like a Dr. Phil mode with BTK. I want to know.
Pick his brain a little bit?
I want to know why. Like, dude, you almost got away with it. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you? What was the point? Like, I feel like there's so many unanswered questions there.
Yeah.
Like, deep down, did he want to get caught?
I guess he missed the whole fucking cat and mouse kind of thing.
Yeah, but then keep going.
Yeah, he was a fucking idiot.
Yeah. That's
He's
what
like,
I'm
hey,
saying.
can you trace a fucking floppy
That's
disk?
what I mean. Like, dude, are you fucking that stupid?
And the cop's like, no, we can't do that.
Yeah, sure, send it. That's like when you see those, like, the police departments always joke on Facebook or whatever, and they post like, oh, don't have your plug today on Christmas? It's just call us and we'll come and deliver your weed for you. Like, are you gonna really do that?
Right,
fucking idiot.
Yeah,
Absolutely
100% BTK, and I would beat the living piss out of him the entire 10 minutes, and then I would curb stomp his fucking skull and smash his fucking brains.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I like the Dr. Phil aspect of.
Yeah.
I could choose any serial killer. I would just like to really deep dive.
Just pick their fucking brain.
Yeah, just pick a brain.
Who hurt you when you were younger?
Yeah, learn more about all those unanswered questions that we always come up.
Yeah, so you're interested in the psychology.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah.
I just want to go in there and beat their fucking heads.
Yeah, but I mean, they're behind bars.
Yeah.
They're gonna die anyway. They serve their justice.
I'm fucking petty though. I'm petty as fuck, dude.
True,
I am fucking petty as fuck. I want to make people suffer who deserve to fucking suffer.
You're like Dexter, dude.
Yeah.
You are Dexter.
I'm Dexter.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much, Dylan. That was a pretty good question as well. Now, we have one that was sent in quite a while ago, and I must have missed it.
Okay.
I mean, quite a while ago, meaning like November.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it fell out. So I sincerely apologize, but it's from Michael McHugh from down in Australia.
Oh, another down under.
Yep. And he asked, do you worry for your family's safety the more you research and discover how much evil there is out there? He adds in, big love from Sydney, Australia.
That is such a good question. How the fuck did you let that go? How'd you let that? That's such a good one.
It's a very good question. It's a very, very good question. And I apologize, Michael. So sorry. I hope you're still listening. We didn't get pissed off and be like, oh, they didn't answer my fucking question. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway. Do I worry? The thought has crossed my mind that could possibly be a serial killer out there that listens to the show. And we talk about where we're from. We don't hide the fact where we're from. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I drive around with a fucking sticker on my fucking car.
I know, yeah. Dave has a giant mural of criminal AF on the side of his car, by the way, guys. If you're ever in Connecticut, you're looking around, you want to know?
Well, it's got one of those fucking scan things so people can...
Yeah, so you do get afraid.
I've thought about it, yeah. Not afraid, but I've thought about it.
Somebody who's just like, you know what, fuck these guys.
Yeah, fuck these motherfuckers. Yeah. Pieces of shit.
I think also he's asking, like, as
attorneys.
you do research and you listen to these stories, you hear these horrific crimes, are you afraid for your family for something bad?
In general.
Not just because of the podcast and stuff like that. He's also saying this.
Right.
And I agree with you, yes, 100%.
It has opened my eyes a little bit.
You know, daughter, wife, the whole nine. My son, I have young kids, and it's terrifying. But I will tell you this. Come to my house, motherfucker. I swear to God. I can hit a quarter at 50 yards, baby.
50.
And my wife can shoot, too.
All right. So, sorry it took fucking 18 months to get to your fucking question, Michael McHugh, but that was actually a fucking very thought-provoking...
Yeah.
Which spawned off into fucking other conversations.
I will say though, it does. I hear these stories and stuff like that, and I just think, and my wife does too. My wife watches. It's just like all of the people that listen to this podcast. She's a huge true crime fan, and she just consumes every single episode and Netflix special and Amazon Prime special. Yeah, and it's in her head. She'll hear a noise at night and jump up like. Yeah. She'll have terrors in the night. It's like you psych yourself out when you listen to this shit 24/7.
Like since we've been doing this podcast, there's definitely things that I pick up on. Yeah. Like if I'm leaving like the store, I'll see if there's some like a note left on my fucking windshield, which is a true. Listen, from Criminal AF, if you ever walk out of a store and there's a flyer or a note to your windshield, underneath your windshield wiper, get in your car and drive away. Yeah, Don't waste your time trying to get the fucking thing off your fucking... No, I mean, get to a safe place and take it off, you know what I mean? Because that's a ploy, too, for sex, human trafficking. Yeah. They put these things, so when you get out to fucking take it off your fucking windshield, they're like, whoop, they swipe you up and fucking take you out in a fucking white van. Yep. So, there are certain things I pick up on. Yeah. So, again, thank you very much, Michael. Sorry it took so long to fucking answer that question. Finally, we have Holly Moe, and she has some rapid-fire questions, Garrett.
Rapid fire, go.
10 for me.
I like these.
10 for me, 10 for you.
Okay,
we
go,
split
go,
them
go,
up.
go,
Okay,
go.
so
Yep.
I'm going to ask you first.
Okay.
All right, virtue or sin?
Sin, baby.
Yeah, that's
Sin,
what I'm
baby.
talking about. All right.
I like the sin.
Yeah. All
That's
right.
the problem.
Name 4 of the 7 dwarfs.
Sleepy, grumpy, bashful, dopey.
Okay.
Boom.
There you go. Do you want to live forever?
No. I've told you this. I think I've told you this.
Yeah.
I don't plan on living till I'm 100 and fucking like
Shitting yourself.
No, dude.
I told my kids that the moment I shit myself, like without knowing that I shit myself, like if I'm just sitting there and I'm just like,
yeah, just put me out of my
fucking
misery.
put a
I don't
bullet
want to.
in me.
I don't want to live like that.
Yeah,
I don't want to
put a
be
bullet
in a
in me.
home. I don't want to be.
I
I
don't-
don't want to be a burden on my fucking
Right.
kids and their kids and all that.
the moment
stuff.
somebody has to wipe my ass, I'm fucking out.
I'm gonna pull a man called Otto. I'm gonna go hang out and listen to the Beach Boys in the car in the garage while the tube's in there. Wouldn't it be nice if we could?
Oh, fucking done.
No, that's
Call
not
it.
funny. That's not funny. I shouldn't joke around.
Call
with
it.
that.
No,
But
I mean it's true.
that's not what I want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to live for like till I'm super old or
No.
live forever and see everybody that I love and care about, and then you're just by yourself as an old man.
Yeah.
No, that sounds horrible.
Yep. Yeah, that's awful. Yeah. All right. Rapid fire.
Oh, sorry. Go
All right. What's for dinner tonight?
Black people mac and cheese.
Yeah. It's good too. I had some. Kelly made it. Damn, she was on point with that fucking mac and cheese.
She's trained.
Yeah. All right. How many pull-ups can you do in a row?
How many pull-ups? God, it's been so long since I tried that. I don't know. 20.
You feel confident you could do 20
I could
right
do 20.
now? Right now.
I'm not. I don't weigh much. It's very easy
but are you
for me.
strong enough to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could do 20. I used to be able to knock out like 35
We're gonna do a challenge.
and
All right?
on a good day.
We're gonna do a Patreon.
Back when I like actually was in shape.
Okay.
I bet you I could force myself to do 20.
You're gonna do
I can
20.
mind over matter, even if I'm starting to struggle at like 10.
All right. Mark this down. We're gonna do a Patreon exclusive video.
I will beat you in pull-ups.
I can't do one.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying. You're committing to
I could
20.
do 20.
You're committing to 20.
I could do 20 pull-ups.
All right. We're gonna do a video of Garrett
Body
doing 20.
weight to mass ratio.
Okay.
It worked. I've always been good at pull-ups.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm strong.
Underhand or overhand?
Underhand.
Underhand?
Yeah.
Which
Actually,
one's easier?
overhand's easier.
Yeah.
Overhand's
No.
easier.
No. You said underhand.
Overhand.
Nope. You said underhand.
Overhand.
Underhand pull-ups, 20 of them.
Overhand.
No.
Okay.
You're
All right.
committed.
Next question.
All right. Tea or coffee?
Coffee. That's not even a question. I love tea.
I do like a chai tea.
I love tea, but
Chai
coffee.
tea.
Coffee's
All
it.
right. Are reindeers real creatures?
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
Do they fly?
No,
No.
but they're real.
Say something in an Asian language. I can do it.
Go ahead. Say
No,
one.
this is your question.
What do you want
I
me
wanna
to say?
see you do it.
Arigashimasu.
What's that?
Like, hi, how are you?
No, that's Nihoma.
That's Chinese. I'm doing Japanese.
Oh, you're doing Japanese?
Arigashimasu.
Oh, okay. All right. It's Japanese?
Yeah.
If we have any Japanese listeners,
Arigashimasu.
yeah, can we verify that?
Arigashimasu.
Okay. All right. Do you respect Kanye West?
No. I didn't even like Kanye when he was cool. Sorry. Go ahead.
All right. What's the fastest speed you ever driven a car?
Wasn't on a car, street bike, 167.
On a bike?
167, I think I hit before I let go. 167-ish, and it was on a motorcycle. And I'm telling you right now, anybody who rides that's listening to the podcast understand there's no better fucking thrill in this world.
167 on a bike.
The tunnel vision that you get was on a R1 1000 liter bike. Oh, dude, you get this tunnel vision where like the helmet you can only see out of like a pinhole.
Really?
Yeah, and then you just know like that rush. I'm telling you,
How old were you?
jump out of an airplane. I don't know, 20s, 20, 22, 23, dumb, young,
Oh, that's still dumb.
young, dumb, full of cum.
Yeah.
Fucking.
That was still a dumb age.
Yeah. Oh no, not now. You crazy?
Yeah.
When I got my in my motorcycle accident, I was only doing like 40 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I just got fucked. But yeah, like 167, I think. It's on an R1,
Yeah.
2004 R1.
Do you want to talk
Fucking
about
bike?
You want to talk about your accident?
No,
No.
that's all right.
No, we have a lot of people that would be like,
Yeah. A lot of dog fans here. I did. I murdered a 1-year-old German Shepherd puppy, guys.
Garrett.
I tore my ACL, tore my meniscus, broke my left hand, permanent
Nerve damage.
yeah, but the dog ran into me, to be honest. So
Okay.
yeah, it was a brutal time.
Minding its own business.
Yep.
And here comes Garrett.
Just cruising at 40.
Yeah.
But yeah, 167. That's my answer.
All right.
On a motorcycle.
Now we got some for me. All right, here we go.
Yep. Godfather. All right, do not fuck this up, please, because I know you're gonna not. Yo, this is gonna piss me off. The first question: Godfather or Star Wars?
Godfather.
Why?
All right, you want to know why?
Cinematic masterpiece, one of the greatest arcs in the fucking entire cinematic universe. But okay, we'll go with Godfather. Go ahead.
All right,
it's a good movie.
Who's the guy that plays Anakin Skywalker?
Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, awful fucking acting.
I won't say that.
No.
The script sucked for him. His words suck. All right, we're not going into a movie today.
All right.
Yes.
So, well, in my generation, the 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Which is then turned into 3, 4, and 5.
Yes.
Empire Strikes Back.
It goes 3, 4, and 5 came out first.
Right.
1, 2, and 3 came out next.
Okay. 3, 4, and 5. So, the ones I grew up with.
Yeah.
Awesome. Groundbreaking. Amazing. So then they came out with the Hayden Christensen ones.
Yes, the prequels.
So they came out with the prequels.
Yep.
Awful. Awful fucking acting.
Stop.
It was just like...
Stop.
It's like Fast and the Furious with fucking Paul Walker when he's like, bro, like every fucking 2 seconds. Hayden Christensen in that fucking role was just fucking awful.
It's
now, when you start getting into like Jar Jar Binks...
Yeah, of course. It was groundbreaking CGI at that point.
Yeah.
They didn't know what to do.
Those are good.
What?
But,
that was the worst ever.
No, Jar Jar Binks is the greatest fucking Star Wars
next
character
question,
ever.
You're gonna annoy me.
No,
you're gonna annoy me.
Jar Jar.
No,
Miso.
Star Wars, and I love now. I will say this before you go on: the fact that the prequels are getting love now because they were shit on by the boomers that liked the original Star Wars back in the day.
I'm not a boomer.
I know. I'm talking about your even older than that, like the people that were like, "Oh, I love Star Wars" and all that stuff. But they got shit on back in the late 90s, early 2000s, whenever they came out.
Yep.
They're getting love now, and I like that.
Because
they deserve it. The Revenge of the Sith is one of the greatest movies ever made.
The story is good.
Oh, God.
I like the story of it. But Anakin...
Go back and watch it. All right, next question.
I can't do it. I can't. You're asking me.
Godfather. You're right. All right, okay. Godfather.
But from
Godfather's a great movie. I'm not
1, 2, and 3, Godfather. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not Star Wars is just as a whole is just my God, it's so good. All right, Godfather, do you like the word dapper?
I do use it. You're looking pretty dapper today.
You say that I've heard you say it a couple times.
Like, oh, all right, Garrett.
I like dapper.
You look pretty dapper.
Dapper's nice.
Yeah, I use that.
All right. Big dogs, small dogs, or no dogs?
Ooh. I've had big dogs. I've always had big dogs. I've had,
well, what do you consider big dog?
Like a pit bull,
that's not
shepherd.
I don't think those are big dogs.
But mine were big.
German shepherds can get pretty big, but pit bulls are fairly small.
No, mine was.
They're heavy and stocky, but they're not big dogs.
Mine wasn't like a full pit. It was a pit mix.
Oh, okay.
So it was decent size. So now that I'm getting older, I would say I want a nice small dog I can cuddle with.
Yeah.
Come on up on my lap.
I like medium dogs.
Yeah.
Like Anya. You know what I mean? Like that 30-pound range, 30 to 40 pounds.
Yeah.
Big enough to like the Yorkies that you deal with. Like, you have to like lift them up and fucking help them around the house and shit like that. Like I want a dog that can fend for itself and won't get taken away from a hawk.
That is
you know
factual.
What I'm yeah,
but
like it's not factual. So big that they're knocking the fucking your drink off the nightstand and I like a medium sized.
My favorite dog of all time is a boxer. I fucking love boxers.
Yeah, they just got so much energy.
I fucking love boxers. But the older I get, I don't have the energy to deal with those high energy dogs. So I just want a nice little dog I can sit in my lap.
Dude, I love a good Chihuahua. People hate on Chihuahuas. I love them. I love this. There's so much fucking.
Especially the Chihuahuas with their eyes like going in different directions
and bug the fuck out. Yeah. You got a big ass apple head. Yeah. Their head's bigger than their fucking body.
All right.
I like them. All right. How many hours of sleep do you need?
4. I can get by in 4 hours of sleep a day.
You're grumpy. You're a little grumpy goose on 4 hours.
Me?
Yeah.
I get a little ornery.
You're a little grumpy. You need 6.
I can never get 6 though.
I know.
My longest is 4 hours at a clip. Like if I have a whole day off, like I can do sleep 4 hours. I'm up, then I'll take a nap. But I can never, for some fucking reason, I can never sleep more than 4 hours ever.
And then you wake up. Well, you go back to bed though. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like 6. As long as I get 6, I can function.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
Anything less than 6, I'm fucking miserable.
Yeah.
Are women complicated?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can't figure them out for nothing. I'm like fucking going on. I'll be 50 next week, and I still haven't figured them out. You know? I mean, I know what buttons to push, if you know what I'm saying. But
giggity.
But, yeah, I don't know. It's complicated.
Yeah. I'll say yes, they are complicated.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm asking you. Never mind.
No. Let's hear it.
No.
Where's
fine.
Kelly?
No. I'll say well, yes. Of course, women are complicated, just like men are to them. But I feel like it's not complicated to understand what you need to do to stay out of the hot seat. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's very complex. But
I get that.
I think a lot of men don't do the bare necessities to stay out of
the bare minimum.
They won't.
Bare necessities,
a simple bare necessity. That's not what you want to do to them.
Oh yeah.
Lucy will like this one.
All right, Lucy.
Say good day, mate, in an Australian accent.
You just did it for me.
Go. No, I need you to do it.
Good day, mate.
Oh, actually, yours sounds pretty good.
Crikey,
go. I'm a little bit dark and mysterious.
A little bit dark and mysterious.
I'm a dark and twisted. The Australian accent is so good, dude. It's so good.
Look at these wild crocs. No, that was fucking awful. All right, I
Love on the Spectrum Australia just changed my mind on the Australian accent for sure.
Love on the Spectrum Australia is hands down the greatest fucking show.
The greatest show. I will say it's top 3 shows to ever come out on Netflix. Ever.
Like.
Oh, it's so good.
Blows the U.S. version.
The
out
U.S.
of the
version
water.
sucks.
Yeah.
And that stupid animation bitch that I hate so much. Sorry. Go He just spit out his beer. I like animation. Oh, sorry, I can't make it. What's your favorite carb?
But sadly, you know what? I would bang the fucking shit out of that carb.
Fucking weirdo.
All right.
Well, so what's her boyfriend's name? What's her boyfriend's name?
I don't know.
Oh man! But while he watches, all right. What's your favorite carb?
He's a purple fucking loofah sponge.
What's your favorite carb? Bread, pasta, rice, or potatoes?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with pasta. Pastas.
That fits.
Yeah,
That fits. You can't beat it.
Yeah.
There's too many. Oh god.
Potatoes close second.
Potatoes good because you can just do so much with it.
Yeah.
All right. If you could ask God one question, what would it be? Oh God.
Oh, this would be a good question for you, Garrett.
No, go ahead.
No. If I could ask God one question, what would it be? Wow. Can you make my penis bigger?
Yeah, but how big do you?
Why
really
did you
want?
make me average?
You don't want inches. Average is fair. You don't want fucking. Sorry, go ahead.
All right, yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not joking. I would ask that. Yeah. All right. Next up.
Stale Sour Patch Kids or fresh circus peanuts?
Ooh,
what the fuck?
Fresh circus peanuts.
Ugh.
Well, you don't like peanuts from the circus?
No.
You gotta crack them open.
Yeah,
They're nice
and then
warm.
there's like people are just feeding like pigs in the fucking stands. There's like you got to walk through peanut. No,
Yeah. You would eat stale Sour Patch Kids?
Yep.
Over that? Really?
fuck a circus peanut.
Wow.
Dude, that's the worst. When you go to a bar that allows people to just like chomp on and leave all the shit.
That adds to the ambiance.
No,
Yeah.
it's gross.
I don't know.
Paper plastic.
I do enjoy a good plastic. I miss plastic straws.
What do you mean?
I miss plastic straws.
I'm drinking out a plastic straw right now. You're saying how like Starbucks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The paper straws are fucking an awful creation.
Oh, they're the worst.
Yeah.
They're the worst. They don't make any sense to me.
Right. Yeah.
I like styrofoam.
Yeah?
Yeah, styrofoam cups are. There's nothing like a cold, like an ice cold drink out of a styrofoam cup.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says.
I do miss the Dunkin' coffees in the styrofoam cups.
Yes, Dunkin' used to. Oh, the Dunkin' coffee tasted better in the styrofoam cup.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Yeah. All right. Yeah, plastic / styrofoam.
Styrofoam was the shit.
Yeah.
Too bad it's like bad for the environment.
I know.
They're like, yeah, okay, and I get it.
All right. Yeah. So that was pretty good. I love rapid fire.
I liked it.
Yeah. So if you guys got any rapid fire questions you want to ask us, send them in.
That wasn't really rapid fire, but
it wasn't. But it's good.
Yeah.
I like it. I like those questions. All right.
Thank you, Holly.
Thank you very much, Holly. And all of it, everybody who sent them in, that was great. To send us in questions for a future episode, just go to criminalasfuck.com and click on the Send It In tab.
All right, let's go to Florida.
Let's do it.
Oh, yeah.
What in the fuck is going on in Florida?
Martin County, Florida. A naked man crashed his car into a Florida jail, saying he wanted to kill everybody.
Oh, hey, that's like down, that's Jensen Beach area.
Yeah.
Port St. Lucie.
One of my best friends lives there.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Port St. Lucie.
Yep.
All right. A video shows a car crashing into the lobby of a Florida jail that was driven by a man who authorities said was naked from waist down and threatened to kill officers. The incident happened late Monday night at the lobby of the Martin County Jail when a 40-year-old Joseph Leedy drove his car through the entrance, the sheriff's officer said. Surveillance videos released by the sheriff's office showed the Toyota sedan slamming into the front doors. Leedy got out of his car wearing a woman's blouse and no pants. Then poured motor oil on the floor and said he wanted to set it on fire, authorities said. He also made homicidal statements about police officers and said he wanted to kill everyone and threw rubber snakes on the floor.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm not kidding. This is real. Dude, imagine being the guy working the front desk at the fucking intake.
Like, what the fuck?
Authorities said. While our deputies were interacting with him, he kept saying things like, "The devil told me to kill everyone." And he kept, "Oh, that's a pussy way out, though."
Yep.
We all know that's a pussy way out.
Yep.
And he kept sharing his disdain for President Donald Trump.
Fuck Donald Trump.
Chief Deputy John Burdinsky said at the news conference Tuesday, according to WPTY. Leedy fought the deputies in fire rescue before he was tased. He fought deputies and the fire rescue. He was going out.
He's like throwing fucking rubber snakes everywhere. And he's like
dropping oil. He was eventually restrained and taken into the hospital. Burdinsky said paramedics gave Leedy multiple doses of ketamine to calm him down.
Oh,
damn,
yeah.
I wish I was him.
I know, right?
You get a free K-hole trip if you fucking wig out. But it did not sedate him. That's kind of even crazier. He was later booked.
Oh, he had to be on fucking like some synthetic shit.
He was probably doing some PCP. He was later booked into jail on charges of aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer and criminal mischief. That's it? Wow, for driving his car through
into a jail?
Yeah. And we'll include the video, the pictures. The video's wild.
Yeah, it's in there. Yep.
Officials said no one was in the lobby at the time of the crash, but the incident caused thousands of dollars in damages.
Yeah.
Burdinsky said authorities believe Leedy was under the influence of controlled substance, but they're awaiting the test results.
You think?
The medication that a normal person would be sedated by was not affecting him at all. So that does lead to us to believe they built up a tolerance between two different types of drugs, Burdinsky said.
So he had a tolerance to ketamine, which they were fucking dumping into his fucking body.
Yeah.
And then
that's so interesting. I didn't know that that's what they would be giving people. Like, it just goes to show how far ketamine has come. They wouldn't give you ketamine to sedate you back in the day. They're starting to realize like the benefits into that.
Not that you're an expert.
No, I'm not an expert on ketamine. No.
But what is ketamine? Is that a sedative?
You're not going to give me this time.
Is that a sedative?
It is a sedative. It is a medicine that they give horses before surgery, almost like an adult Xanax.
Okay.
You know what I'm trying to say? They use it to sedate horses and other large animals.
It's horse-powered
tranquilizer.
Xanax. A horse tranquilizer.
It's a horse tranquilizer. It's not Xanax, but I'm just saying it would be the equivalent of like calming.
So they're giving this guy a horse tranquilizer.
A horse tranquilizer.
And it's not even fucking affecting him.
Yes. But that's the thing. It affects people different than it does horses because a horse doesn't trip. Actually, who knows? A horse might trip balls when they're on ketamine. They just don't. You can't tell you that they're tripping balls.
Right.
But it'll put you in a K-hole, which is like you're just zoom.
You're just in a zone.
You're in a fucking you're in a whole other world. Yeah. You trip. It's a psychedelic at the end of the day.
Okay.
Even though it's considered something else. It's considered something else, but it gives off hallucinations and all that other stuff.
Yeah. But you're not an expert.
But no, I'm not an expert. I'm not. That's just stuff. All right, go ahead. Next. Episode lead-in.
Oh man! All right.
I don't understand the snakes though, and the oil, the motor oil, and I get that maybe trying to.
Well, he was trying to start a fire for that. Yeah,
but
But yeah, the snakes are.
Do you know how wild that has to be as like
that? That's yeah.
You listen. You decide as a career choice that you're going to help. You're going to do something good. You become a police officer, right?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
You go through months of training. You go through on-job training. You see some wild shit, but then you see this guy bust through and throw motor oil, snakes, in a blouse with his dick out, and just screaming "fuck Donald Trump." Like, at what point do police officers just say, like, I don't... Like,
I'm done. I'm over this. Yeah.
Sir! Yeah. And then he's not... like, you're trying to give him ketamine, he's not coming down. You're tasing him, he's fucking fighting. Like...
Yeah.
It's a crazy job. It's a wild job. I give out every shout out to police officers out there.
When I was younger, I actually applied to be a police officer. Pretty much all through high school, all that. Like, I wanted to be a cop.
Yeah.
That was my goal,
Yeah, same.
Today, like, I have to hand it to people.
Oh yeah.
Who become police officers today.
Especially the ones that we know and
fucking
we've heard stories.
Wild.
Like they're out on injuries.
Yeah.
Like it's
wild to be a cop right now. Wild.
The pay is good, but it doesn't pay that good to deal with the shit that they have to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just fucking out of control. It's like the Wild West now, for real. But anyway, yeah.
Guy in a blouse with his dick out.
Guy in a blouse with his dick out saying, woo, let me throw these snakes. Oh, this one's connected to me. I can't fucking throw this one. But anyway, yeah, that was a fucking wild one. All right, so let's get into this story about arguably the worst serial killing pedophile.
We were having fun, and now we got to talk about fucking the one of the worst.
Now we got to talk about this fucking dude. So, I avoided this story like the fucking plague.
Yeah.
Because I just don't like doing.
I remember bringing it up to you. We should do Albert Fish, and you're like,
fuck that.
No, fuck that guy.
But it's been widely requested, and our good friend Debbie from True Crime University, she just so happened to have written this story, before, and she asked us if we'd like to do it.
Yep.
She had it written.
Thank you, Debbie.
She didn't end up doing it, so she was like, "Hey, you guys can take this." So thank you very much, Debbie, for sending us this story. So tuck your kids in the bed. Give them a kiss on the forehead and tell them to never take candy from a boomer named Albert because it's time to fuck this episode in the mouth. What do you say, Garrett?
Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. So this is a story of Hamilton Howard Fish, who was born May 19th, 1870 in the United States capital of Washington, D.C. His parents were Ellen, age 32, and Randall, who at the time of Hamilton's birth was 75 years old. Yes. You heard that right.
75.
75 fucking years old, 43 years older than his wife. I hope I can still get it up at 75, I mean, I can't have kids. But,
there's always Blue Chew, Viagra. You can get
But not back in 1800s.
Yeah. That was all natural, baby. That guy was built.
This dude was fucking ready to fucking spread his seed. All right, so Hamilton had 3 older siblings, Walter, Annie, and Edwin. Another brother, Albert, had died in infancy, long before Hamilton was even a fucking thought. He was still swimming around in his daddy's 75-year-old nuts. Hamilton was born in a long line of mentally ill people, including his mother, uncle, brother, and sister, and had all been diagnosed with some sort of mental health condition. The family patriarch, Randall, was a riverboat captain and a fertilizer manufacturer who died in October of 1875 when Hamilton was just 5 years old.
It's such a 1875 job title, a riverboat captain.
He's a riverboat captain. That's
I lost my kid on a riverboat gambling trip.
So yeah, he died when Hamilton was just 5 years old, leaving Ellen alone with all 4 children. And back then, being a single mom, kids, it was a little rough. It was totally different. Yeah. So it says he died from senile debility, which is an old-timey way of saying he died of heart disease. Like, well, it seems here he died of senile debility, see? Yeah. So Ellen was unable to care for the kids, and she placed them in St. John's Orphanage, a decision that would result in fucking disaster. Now, both the staff and other children harassed and abused Hamilton physically, sexually, and emotionally. And because they were all bratty kids who come up with stupid nicknames, they called him Ham and Eggs. Ham and Eggs Hamilton. To alleviate this, he started using his dead brother's name. So from here on out, Hamilton will now be known as Albert. All right? Albert would later say, I was there till I was nearly 9, and that's where I got started wrong. We were unmercifully whipped. I saw boys doing things they should not have been doing. Perhaps as a coping mechanism, young Albert soon started to enjoy being whipped and beaten. I don't blame him. And would become visibly aroused, resulting in more taunts from the other children.
He's like, oh, I hope you don't get mad at me.
Who broke all the chalk? Oh, I don't know, teacher.
It wasn't me.
Wasn't me. Are you going to punish whoever did it?
Oh, I hope you are merciful for those kids.
Oh, man.
Oh,
eventually
funny.
his mother,
that's
Ellen.
Not funny, but it's funny.
Yeah, it's
Child abuse is never funny. But.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Eventually, his mother, Ellen, got a job with the government and was financially able to care for her children again. So Albert was brought home. But as we said earlier, the damage was already done. You know? When Albert was 11, he fell from a tree and hit his head, after which he suffered from headaches, dizziness, stuttering, and abrupt personality changes. He was also a frequent bedwetter until he reached adolescence. And as we know, Garrett, that's one of the serial killer triad, along with arson and animal torture.
Literally by right textbook.
Yeah.
Too.
Yep.
You know what's funny too is like people are always like you hear the old timers say like we were kids, we were climbing trees and getting hurt all the time.
Yep.
Yeah, because we
pissed our bed till we were fucking 14.
you banged your head and developed a stutter and then started murdering kids. Like maybe it's not a bad thing that we just let the kids just do whatever the fuck they wanted.
Right.
All right, my bad. Go ahead, keep going.
All right, when he was 12, Albert had his. And listen, this story is very serious. It's fucking sick. It's fucking pathetic.
We're trying to have fun.
It's awful. We're trying to make the best of this fucking gruesome fucking story. All right. So when he was 12, Albert had his first sexual encounter, and this was with a 17-year-old telegraph boy who lived in an apartment below him.
Oh, so he was diddled.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
So the older boy introduced him to urolagnia. What?
I don't even know how to say it.
Urolagnia.
Well, it's
All
ready.
right.
Urolagnia.
Okay. The older boy introduced him to urolagnia, which is the drinking of urine, and coprophagia, the consumption of feces.
Oh.
Yeah. Which Albert would engage in for the rest of his life. Now, I'm going to add like a little tidbit and fucking take it how you will. So this was around the same time of the Cleveland Street scandal, where in 1889, 1890, there were accusations and trials involving sexual liaisons between English aristocrats and young telegraph boys in London. They ran messages out of the 19 Cleveland Street post office.
That's so strange.
Yeah, so this post office was, obviously a business by day and turned into a brothel of young boys at night.
That's wild.
I understand the story that we're discussing today. This happened in the U.S., but I'd say it's fair to assume that the 17-year-old telegraph boy who was screwing 12-year-old Albert and was experienced in pissing and shitting on people.
What the fuck?
May have been involved in a similar environment.
Yeah.
That's just saying.
It translated over.
Yeah, those are learned behaviors, I don't know. Food for thought.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so now at the age of 20... Albert moved to New York City with his mother and briefly made a living prostituting himself to other men. He would later say that it was around this time that he began to sexually assault children, mainly boys.
Before we get into the sad shit, let's just say this man was ahead of his time. Okay. 18, what year?
Yeah, it's like late 1800s, early
late 1800s,
yeah.
And he's openly gay?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ahead of his time.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just saying. I got to give him something.
Hopefully you can give him chlamydia. I don't know. All right, so he started. Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, I don't know what.
I'm just saying, openly gay in the 1800s is
It's
a drastic thing.
Right. Yeah,
you would be killed back then for that.
Probably sent to an insane asylum, but yeah, I don't know about killed. Yeah, this isn't fucking Germany where they
down south. Hello, go to Alabama.
All right,
come on, you're prancing around eating fucking shit and piss. prancing around eating shit and piss. They're gonna kill you, dude.
Yeah.
You're gonna think you're the devil.
Okay. All right. He started working. Yeah. All right. All right, he started work as a painter, which enabled him to move about to different locations. He claims that he often lured children into basements of the buildings he was painting. Around this time, Fish, he started another hobby, which was letter writing, which is back in the late 1800s. Letter writing was a hobby.
Yeah.
You know? He found the addresses of adult women in newspaper Lonely Hearts ads and sent them obscene letters filled with details of spanking them, as well as drinking their piss and eating their shit.
What the fuck?
So at age 25, Albert's mother fixed him up with 19-year-old Anna Marie Hoffman, and the two were married not too long later. Now, over the years, Albert and Anna had 6 children together. Albert Jr., John, Anna, Gertrude, Eugene, and Henry, who were all raised primarily by Anna, as Albert was off, he often traveled for work and for painting and did special trips to have sex with fucking boys and shit.
Yeah. He was a busy guy.
Yeah. He had things he got to do. And so on one occasion, one of Fish's male lovers took him to a museum that featured an exhibit of dissected and preserved body parts. All right. So there was actually an exhibit that was going around not too long ago. It's called Bodies Revealed.
I went.
Do you remember that?
Yep, I did it.
Yeah, that showed actual bodies like broken down into various levels. Like some had their skin removed. Others had their entire muscular system removed to reveal just the nervous system.
Yep.
So I went to the Connecticut Science Museum as a chaperone for my daughter's 6th grade class.
Oh, no.
This is years ago. And they had 2 bodies, a male and a female, and they positioned a woman in a reverse cowgirl position on top of the guy body, right? Now, if I remember correctly, they had the woman's abdomen kind of open so you could see the penis
inside
the woman.
What the fuck?
Yeah, this is.
I don't remember that scene. I went to that same exhibit.
I'm actually putting it up on the fucking video.
Oh, you're putting it up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now here's the thing: they're real bodies donated to science. Okay, so imagine being the person who had to take a dead guy's dick and insert it into a dead woman's vagina, and then cut the woman's abdomen out to show what it looks like to have a dick inside of a woman. Imagine that being your job.
I don't know. That sounds perfect for Albert Fish.
I don't know. I just wanted to throw that in. It was fucking wild.
That's funny that you had to sit there as a chaperation for
a 6th grade
girls class.
Yeah. Look, kids. Yeah, that's called reverse cowgirl. Fucking, have at it. Yep. Yeah, it was kind of awkward. I was like, all right, so we're moving on. To over here.
Look at there's the nervous system.
Oh wow, look, there's the brain. Okay, don't look at the penis. All right, so back to Albert Fish. All right, so he was fascinated by a dissected penis and became obsessed with mutilating genitals throughout his life.
Ugh.
In 1903, at the age of 33, Albert was arrested for the first time and convicted of grand larceny, for which he served 16 months in Sing Sing prison.
Sing Sing.
Sing Sing. While there, he acquired the nickname Shit Stick. For you can probably guess.
Oh, he probably loves prison, dude.
Yeah.
What a
And if you can't guess why he was called Shit Stick, it's because he liked to fuck dudes in the ass and getting shit on his dick. But anyway,
ew.
I digress.
Never mind.
Yeah.
This will get banned.
Yeah. If
I start going off.
In 1910, Fish met a mentally challenged man named Thomas Kedden in Delaware and held him captive in an abandoned barn for 5 weeks. In what reads like a penthouse forum letter from hell, Fish later recalled the torture he subjected Thomas to, including whipping, defecating on him, and sticking needles in his ass. He later recalled, "How did he scream? It was sweet music to my very soul to hear it and know that no one else could. I clapped my hands and jumped with joy when I heard him screaming."
It's straight sadism.
Yeah.
He's sadistic as fuck.
Right,
dude.
right.
He's such a fucking weirdo.
Yep. So before releasing Thomas, Fish severed his penis in half, bandaged it, gave him $10, and kissed him goodbye. Fucking weirdo. All right.
Yeah, to think that there's somebody that's even there's actual people in this world that are capable of being into this, enjoying this, getting sexually aroused from that shit.
Yep.
It's wild.
Now, at 47 years old in 1917, an incident occurred which many believe instigated Albert's descent into madness.
I don't know. He's already there.
Yeah, he's pretty fucking crazy now. But his wife left them for a man named John Straub, a handyman who had been their boarder. Although she returned a short time later, she hid John in the basement and would make frequent trips down there to, for their little trysts.
Their little
Get a little
rendezvous.
They had a little boom room down there in the fucking basement.
It's amazing, Always be a handyman. Like,
well, that's what was our story?
I just wish I could reach these things.
Yeah. The Hinterkaifeck story that we did. The guy,
It's amazing, man. If you can fix stuff.
He was a farmhand. Yeah.
That's like a primal thing for women, dude. It's a good thing. Learn some traits.
This is like the old-timey version of a pool boy.
Yeah.
Yep. Sitting there like,
you can fix the devil plumbing?
Yeah. Can you...
I'm moister than an oyster.
Yeah,
right,
can you drain my outhouse?
Oh. I don't think they drained him.
What do they do with them?
I don't know. That's for later.
Just make a new outhouse?
I don't know.
Like fill it in and make a new outhouse?
I don't know. Where do you drain?
Kind of like when you do with gas. You like stick a hose in it and you siphon it out.
Stop. Stop.
All right. So when Albert found out his wife was banging the handyman, he was furious and he threw them both out. So Anna left with all the furniture, but she left the kids. She's like, fuck them kids.
Oh,
give me the fucking couch. Give me the couch and that armoire. You keep the kids.
You keep the children.
Yeah. By all accounts, Albert was he was a pretty good dad. If by being a good dad means involving his children
in the 1880s or whatever it was. Yeah. The standard wasn't that high, but okay.
He's like, hey kids, how about you whip me and entertain them by inserting cotton into the his butthole. Oh, let me redo that.
Jesus Christ, dude.
So he would have them whip him with homemade leather whips and entertain, quote unquote, them with inserting cotton into his butthole and setting it on fire. Do you ever do that with the kids?
No. Dude.
Come on, kids, gather around.
You know what's so funny is like you
light this cotton on.
That's
fire.
what people don't realize is you try to keep it light and then like you realize that there is some fucked up people. Stories.
This is why this right here is why I did not want to fucking do this story.
Fuck.
But
man.
we're doing it. We're here. We're committed. We're committed. So let's go.
That's sickening.
Yeah, so the children, they reported that Albert became delusional, screaming, I am Christ, and saying that he received messages from God and other biblical characters. Years later, he said, it seemed to me that I had to offer a child for sacrifice and to purge myself of sins, inequities, and abominations in the sight of God. So that's what he had to do. He had to sacrifice children because he's a fucking nut job.
Yeah, I was about to say this too. Yeah. There's a little paranoid schizophrenia. There's I'm looking at the mental aspect of it.
Yeah.
Undiagnosed psychological problems.
Yeah.
And paranoid schizophrenia right off the rip, at least.
Yep.
On top of a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah. And it seems like, like you said, like schizophrenia and whatnot, it seems like when they go through that, they're seeing like biblical figures, like religious figures, like God or Jesus or.
But there's also devil, demonic,
yeah.
like dark shit too,
right.
with those people.
Yeah, it always seems to go.
And back then, they were just like, do some cocaine about it.
Yeah.
They would prescribe you like it's witchcraft. I don't know, like they had no actual fucking reasoning for it.
Oh, let me bleed you.
Yeah. Let's put some leeches on them. Bring them to the river. Bathe them in fucking river juice.
Oh man! All right. So, on July 1st, 1924, Fish noticed an 8-year-old girl named Beatrice playing on her farm in Staten Island. He tried to entice her, but fortunately, her mother was nearby and shooed him away. Shoot! Get away. Get away from my daughter. Not to be deterred, Albert hid in the family's barn, hoping for another chance to abduct Beatrice, but was chased off by her father this time. Yeah. But, again, he was not going to give up. Maybe not so much with Beatrice. He's going to move on to somebody else, right? So he committed his first known murder at the age of 54. He went his entire life.
Wow.
And at age 54, on July 14th, 1924, committed his first murder. And that was 8-year-old Frances McDonald, who was playing in the street with other children in Staten Island. And his mother was watching from the porch. She noticed an older man, a man in gray, walking up and down the street, observing them. Something about him gave her the creeps. All of a sudden, little Francis was gone. A neighbor recalled that he had seen the boy being led away into the woods by an older man. Word of the missing boy...
You didn't stop it?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a little, look at here, see?
What? Why is that time period so primitive? Like, I never understood that.
I mean, even now, though, dude.
No, there is 1,000 fucking helicopter parents that would never happen in today's society.
No, I get it.
There wouldn't. It wouldn't.
Yeah.
There'd be 6 people that would have notified that person, and that this guy's like, he went in the woods.
Yeah.
The guy was holding his hand. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
he was with an older man.
It blows my mind.
Yeah.
Children were like they were expendable back then. I'm talking 1800s. Like it was one like.
But we also did a case not too long ago. Well, actually, a fucking long time ago. The Genovese syndrome. Remember?
Yes. Yeah.
When somebody's in trouble, people kind of like look the other way.
No, man, I wouldn't be able to do that. No. I would not be able to do that.
I wouldn't be able to.
I would have fucking red flag. Yeah. What the fuck are you doing?
I'm like, yo, hey,
where the fuck you going?
Yeah, where you going with that kid, you fucking pervert?
Instantly. Yeah. Without a doubt. I don't care, like...
Yeah. Well, they didn't do that back then. And word of the missing boy spread, and panic ensued. Searchers found the body of Francis in the woods the following morning. He was under a pile of branches, and he had been strangled with his suspenders and atrociously assaulted, according to the coroner. Atrociously assaulted. People became paranoid, and sightings of this mystery gray man were reported everywhere. Parents began telling their children, hey, you better be good, or the gray man's going to get you. Fish's next documented murder occurred on February 11th, 1927. A 12-year-old boy named Johnny was watching his 2 younger neighbors, both 3-year-old boys named Billy. They were playing in the hallway of their Manhattan apartment building when he was drawn inside by the crying of his baby sister. So now Johnny goes inside, the two Billies are left outside, right? He returned to find that both Billies had vanished, and Billy Beaton was found by his father safely playing on the roof. And when asked where the other Billy had gone, he gave the chilling reply, the boogeyman took him.
Oof, because you know that's what he said.
Yeah.
You know that's what Albert said.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm the boogeyman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as with little Francis, neighbors searched frantically for Billy Gaffney to no avail. Later, a trolley driver recalled a boy matching Billy Gaffney's description being led onto the trolley, crying by an old man with gray hair, dressed in gray. It appears as though the gray man had claimed his second victim. After his arrest, Fish told the police what happened to Billy. He said that he took him to an abandoned house before he whipped him and cut his throat, bringing his meat home to cook in a stew with vegetables. His remains were never recovered. Yeah.
Was that his first dance with cannibalism?
I believe that was, yeah. On May 25th, 1928, Edward Budd placed an ad in the New York World reading, young man, 18, wishes position in country. Edward Budd, 406 West 15th Street. Edward, who lived in a cramped ground floor apartment with his parents and 4 siblings, was looking to earn money doing something more pleasant than just driving trucks. Little did he know that his advertisement would set in motion events that would bring to light one of the most deranged and insidious serial killers the world has ever known. A few days later, a well-dressed gentleman who addressed himself as Frank Howard appeared at the Budd's door in response to the ad. Mrs. Delia Budd invited him inside, and Edward and his friend Willie appeared. Edward asked if Willie could work with him as well on Mr. Howard's farm, to which the old man agreed. He then said that he had to leave as he had a business appointment and would return on a Saturday with a car. Since Mr. Howard was obviously Albert Fish, had only been expecting one young man, he had to make extra preparations for an extra one. He later told police that he planned to tie up Edward, cut off his penis, and leave him to bleed to death. So on that Saturday, he sent the Budds a handwritten telegram reading, "Been over in New Jersey, call in the morning." On Sunday, June 3rd, Mr. Howard, quote unquote, returned to the Budd apartment with pot cheese, strawberries, and his weapons, which he referred to as his implements of hell, wrapped in a package. As the family was having lunch with their guest, he asked if they had received his telegram. Seeing it on the mantle, he surreptitiously placed it in his pocket, which was also observed by Mr. Budd, who thought it was odd, but he didn't really say anything. Like, you sent us a telegram, and now you're taking it back.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Whatever.
And I'm sure a telegram was a big deal back then.
Oh, yeah.
That was like a Christmas card.
Anybody got the telegram?
That was a Christmas card back then.
Telegram here.
That's when like your mom tapes up the Christmas cards.
Yeah.
All on the mirror or whatever.
Yeah. Over the threshold. Yeah. While they were waiting for Edward and Willie, 10-year-old Grace Budd entered the apartment. A beautiful little girl in her Sunday church dress. She had brown hair, big dark eyes, and pale skin. What do you think is going to happen, Garrett?
I don't know, man.
Mr. Howard immediately turned his attention to her. Come here, child, he said, gathering her onto his lap. Let's see how good at counting you are.
That's so fucking eerie.
Yeah.
Ugh, I hate it.
To the family's astonishment, Mr. Howard whipped out a wad of cash totaling $92.50,
Woo!
which back then was about $1,300. In today's
pulled
money.
out a band.
Yeah, he just pulled out a band. After Grace had successfully counted it, he praised her and gave her 50 cents to buy some candy. Here's some candy, little girl. Mm-hmm. As she had run off, Mr. Howard, a.k.a. Albert, said, I just remembered. My sister is having a birthday party for my niece. Do you think Grace would like to go? I'll bring her back by 9 and pick up Eddie and Willie. He added that his sister had lived at 137th in Columbus.
I'm telling you, you don't let a fucking stranger. It just goes to what I'm saying about this fucking era and time.
Mm-hmm. So, Mr. and Mrs. Budd, somewhat reluctantly, they agreed. And Grace was excited as she put on her fancy coat with fur trim.
That's so sad.
She was excited to go to this birthday party. So her mother watched as she walked out the door, down the sidewalk, with the old man, not knowing that it would be the last time she would ever see her daughter. When Grace failed to return by the night, the Budds notified the police the following morning. The following morning, I'd be like, she's been gone for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Fuck. The police were immediately suspicious when they heard that the address that Mr. Howard had given them. They were like, Columbus, that ends at 110th Street, not 137th Street, or whatever it was. So they also quickly learned that there was no such person named Frank Howard that matched the description. So Mr. Budd recalled that the stranger had taken the handwritten telegram with him, which would provide police with their first clue. They managed to track down the telegram office at which he had sent it in Harlem and found the original handwritten copy with his writing.
I'm actually surprised. I didn't know how telegrams work. I didn't know that they kept copies. I didn't know there would be a paper trail for that. I thought it would just be sent and then that was it.
You fill it out and send it.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Now, in the meantime, hysteria broke out in the city again with numerous gray man sightings. 3 men were falsely identified as Grace's kidnapper, and one was actually set to go to trial when Mrs. Budd retracted her identification at the last minute. That's not him, okay? All had grown quiet, and Albert married again briefly in 1930. This time his bride was Estella Wilcox, a divorcee with children. This marriage only lasted a few weeks, though, because Albert, he scared the children with his cane.
Yeah, can you burn my butthole?
Yeah, they don't like stuffing cotton in people's assholes, you know what I mean?
Dude, what a lunatic.
Mm-hmm. So Albert Fish was arrested again in 1934, but not for murder. It seems that he started his habit of writing obscene letters to women again. His ploy was to select a target, write a slightly suggestive letter, just a little hint of sexuality there.
Yep.
And if she responded, then he would send increasingly more sexual and disgusting missives. The typical theme of these letters was that he had a young son who was well-built but mentally handicapped and in need of discipline.
What?
Yeah, he spent the rest of the letter explaining to the recipient in graphic detail what care the boy needed, focusing on spanking him and attending to his bathroom needs, like shitting on him or something. I don't know. Unfortunately for Albert, one of these recipients turned the letters into the police, who then appeared at his rooming house with a warrant. Upon searching his room, they found more letters, a homemade whip, and a fetid hot dog and carrot, which he had been pleasuring himself with. And for those
So wait. Question. Fetid means what?
I had to Google this because I didn't know what fetid means.
Okay, because I don't know what fetid means. Yeah.
Fetid means that it fucking stunk to holy fucking hell.
So it was shit.
Like rot. Yeah, it was like fucking stank ass, fucking like disgusting shit. Yeah, fetid. It was fetid.
You know what's wild too is like I guarantee you, outside of people that listen to these podcasts and are in deep dive into the true crime world. Not a lot of people know who Albert Fish is, and we're taking this lightly because we have to, because we can't take it serious. Like,
I fucking hate doing episodes about children.
Yes.
Fucking hate it.
So that's why we're drinking heavily on this episode. If anybody can't tell, we're drinking heavily on this episode, and we're just trying to we're trying to breeze through it, basically, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that this guy is not a bigger name in in that true crime world blows my mind.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, if I asked my mom, do you know who Albert Fish is? She would have no clue.
Right.
You know what I mean? Someone who's not in that world.
Yeah.
But she would know who, Ted Bundy, Dahmer. She would know who those guys are. Yeah. But this has got to be one of the most twisted and sadistic and just ruthless killers of all time.
Yeah.
It's just it's interesting how society kind of just, when something's so crazy at the time, they just pretend like it never happened.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? I feel like this is one of them.
Yeah.
Back in the early 20s, we're just going to pretend like this never happened. It doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
It's interesting to me. It's a weird dynamic.
As bad as this episode is, it's going to get worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're just going to push through it. All right. So Albert Fish, he was committed to Bellevue Psychiatric Hospital for 30 days because they found the fucking hot dog that stunk to fucking holy hell. It was there that he was determined to have manifested sexual perversion from an early life. He was released 30 days later to the custody of his daughter, Anna. Well, there you go. In 1934, Albert Jr. witnessed his father awaken from nightmares, sweating and gasping. Sometimes he heard the name Grace mumbled.
Ooh, shivers.
Yeah. To calm himself down, Albert would shove needles into his skin.
Oh, dude, sadism to the T.
Detective William King of the NYPD was still obsessively searching for Grace Budd. And from time to time, he planted stories in the newspaper about her, thinking that her kidnapper was following the news and hoping to elicit some action on his part. And guess what? It fucking worked.
It worked.
Yeah. All right. In 1934, Mrs. Budd received a letter from the kidnapper. And since she couldn't read, Edward read it first. Then he ran to give it to Detective King. In the letter, which has become infamous, the kidnapper stated that a friend of his visited China, where eating children had become popular. After discussing this in some detail, the writer said that he had decided to try eating children himself, and he recalled the day he had visited the Budds and wrote, "This is to the mother. Grace sat in my lap and kissed me.
Oh,
I made up my mind in that moment to eat her. I took her to an empty house in Westchester I had already picked out. When we got there, I told her to remain outside. She picked wildflowers. I went upstairs and stripped all my clothes off. I knew if I did not, I would get her blood on them. When all was ready, I went to the window and called her. Then I hid in a closet until she was in the room. When she saw me all naked, she began to cry and tried to run down the stairs. I grabbed her, and she said she would tell her mama. First, I stripped her naked. How she did kick and bite and scratch. I choked her to death, then cut her in small pieces so I could take the meat to the rooms and cook and eat it. How sweet and tender her little ass was roasted in the oven. It took me 9 days to eat her entire body. I did not fuck her, though I could have if I wished. She died a virgin." This is to the mother of this child.
Oof.
Imagine reading that fucking letter.
Ooh.
And you allowed your daughter to leave with this man.
My mind went somewhere else.
What?
I went real dark. Like,
Yeah.
I want to fucking murder everybody, dude.
Yeah.
My mind went somewhere real dark right there in that.
Yep.
And like it's the tone, it's the way he's like describing it.
Matter
like,
of factly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that's what really annoys me about that whole letter.
How sweet.
Like he thinks
tender,
he, like
the little ass
he thinks
was
he's
roasted
the
in the
man when he's saying it. That's the shit that like I wish I found out where you were.
Yep. So Detective King, he noticed an emblem on the back of the envelope with the initials NYPCBA. He figured out that it stood for New York Private Chauffeurs Benevolent Association and paid their office a visit. There, he found that one member had taken some of the stationery to his former rooming house at 200 East 52nd Street. King went immediately to this address, where the landlady, Mrs. Schneider, identified a drawing of Frank Howard as a sometime tenant of hers named Albert Fish. She promised to call Detective King the next time he appeared. On December 13th, 1934, Mrs. Schneider called Detective King to inform him that Albert Fish had just arrived at her boarding house. King rushed to the residence, where he found his quarry sitting at a table drinking tea. "Albert Fish?" he asked. Fish nodded and stood. However, as soon as King approached him, Fish whipped out a razor blade from his pocket. Whoosh, whapa. The old man was no match for King, because he's like fucking 90 by now, who swiftly disarmed him and handcuffed him. "I got you now," he said triumphantly. At police headquarters, Fish quickly started talking. "All right," he said. "I'll tell you all about it. I'm the man you want. I took Grace Budd from her home on the 3rd day of June. I brought her to Westchester and killed her that same afternoon." When asked why, he simply shrugged. Fish explained that after taking Grace from the apartment, they boarded the train with a one-way ticket for Grace to Westchester, 23 miles away from the city.
Oh, that's such an eerie fact, dude. That the way you just included that really just
With a one-way ticket?
The one-way ticket got me.
Mm-hmm. So he undressed himself and unwrapped his implements of hell, a meat cleaver, a butcher knife, and a small hacksaw. When Grace entered, holding a bouquet of wildflowers she had picked, he jumped out naked, and the little girl screamed, dropped the flowers, and began to run. Fish grabbed her by the throat, and then he knelt on her chest while he strangled her. He decapitated her with his knife, letting her blood drain out into an empty paint can. When the can was full, he tried to drink the blood but choked on it. Albert had finally found a behavior that was too disgusting even for him. He then dismembered Grace and filleted her flesh in order to cook and eat her. When asked again why he had killed Grace, Fish said, "You know, I could not account for it." By this time, word of the capture of the Gray Man had spread, and everybody wanted to know more about this mysterious figure. The press had a field day, dubbing him such colorful names as the Werewolf of Wisteria, the Vampire of Brooklyn, and the Moon Maniac. Over the next few days, the scene of Wisteria Cottage was circus-like, with police, medical examiners, press, and onlookers. Grace's skeletalized remains were dug up and placed in a box. While in jail, Fish complained of pain when he sat and conjectured that it must be related to the needles he had stuck in his body. An x-ray was taken, and sure enough, 29 needles were found deep inside his pelvic region. He had literally become a human pincushion. When Fish went to trial, his defense was, not surprisingly, not guilty by reason of insanity. There were 2 whole days of psychiatric testimony during which one of the psychiatrists said there is no known perversion that he did not practice, and practiced frequently. The defense introduced the idea that he was suffering from lead colic, a form of dementia caused by inhaling lead paint from his years working as a painter. Could not be.
I mean, you know what I mean? Like that's
lead paint has been known to fuck somebody up.
Fuck some psychotically up.
Yeah.
Like there is proof of that.
Yep. So after deliberating for only 6 hours, the jury came back and said, "Go fuck yourself and your fetid hot dog."
Oh yeah,
fucking
it
Albert
doesn't.
Fish.
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He deserves everything that motherfucker got, and actually he deserves more.
Yep.
But you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You're fucking guilty. So take your hot dog and shove it up your fucking ass where you like it. They later said that while they all believed him to be insane, they thought he should go to electric chair anyway. So fuck him. Yep. So Fish was executed in the electric chair at Sing Sing Prison on the night of January 16th, 1936. His last meal was roast chicken that was fed to him by a prison guard to avoid a suicide attempt. Because a few months earlier, Fish had attempted to slit his wrist with the bone of a T-bone steak, so they had to feed him. He wasn't allowed to feed himself.
Oh, he was really not trying to go out by them.
Yeah. Yep. So on the way to the electric chair, Fish told the guards with great anticipation, "It'll be the supreme thrill, one that I haven't tried, being electrocuted." After he was strapped in the chair, he was given a chance to say his last words, to which he stated, "I don't even know why I'm here." Fucking nut job. Prior to his death, he gave a written statement to his attorney, who said, "I will never show it to anyone. It was filled with the most filthy string of obscenities that I have ever read."
That goes back to him writing those, obscenity filled letters
to the women,
and all that stuff. Like, I guarantee you that was probably one of the grossest things humanity has ever published writing.
The depth of his dark, fucking sadistic
he probably just
mind.
went all out.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee, and I applaud the attorney for doing that.
So you applauded his defense attorney?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, good job, Garrett.
I applaud his defense attorney for saying, "I will never show this to anyone."
Yeah.
This is
It's just that bad. Yeah.
And it probably was mocking the families and all.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It's.
Yep. In trying to explain himself, Fish said, "I always had a desire to inflict pain on others and to have others inflict pain on me. The desire to inflict pain, that is all that is uppermost." So that's that for Albert Fish. So thank you again to Debbie from True Crime University for writing the story. Before we jump into Dear Douchebags, what do you think of the story, Garrett?
Oh, dude, I'm glad we got through it.
Yeah.
I even said, you said it and I said it, and I was like, Albert Fish is a good one to do, but it's one of those ones. Obviously, everybody who's listened to the podcast for a while understands that we don't do well with
kid ones.
With kid ones.
Yeah.
So I think we handled it well.
I think we did.
We got some liquor got us
libations.
through it. Yeah.
We got to remember that for next time. Next time we do a kid one, we got to have like a lot of libations to get through it, because that was especially the Grace Bud part of it.
Yeah, the wildflowers gets me every time.
Yeah,
I hate it. Like to be this innocent little girl, especially anybody who has little anyone who's had a daughter in their life too understands that.
Like she probably just walked in like, "Oh, look at the flowers I picked."
Yeah,
and here comes this dude. "Oh, I'm gonna fucking kill you because I'm a fucking weirdo." Yeah,
it's just one of those things.
Yep. All right, so head on over to Spotify and Good Pods and tell us what you thought of the fucking episode. And now it's
of the worst person in the world.
The worst person in the world. Yep. So now it's time for another installment of Dear Douchebags, where you send in what is troubling you, and we give you our best advice on how to handle it, which is probably the worst advice you'll probably ever receive. All right, we have 2 requests, which is shocking that 2 people want to hear our advice, but here we go. So first up is Annoyed in Marriage.
Whoa!
Yes.
No, I can't do this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, here we go. We got like a single guy and a married guy. Oh,
Yeah.
So Annoyed writes, "Hello, douchebags." Hello, Annoyed. "I am one of your older fans. My husband is now 70 years old, and he's even more boring and annoying than he was 42 years ago when I met him. Is it okay to throw a pillow over his mouth and nose when he sleeps while I'm trying to talk to him? Then I could just use his body as an armrest."
Oh, my. Who the fuck sent this in?
Any suggestions are welcome. So basically...
Wait, go back up. Who was what was her name? Or
Annoyed.
his name?
His name?
Just Annoyed.
Annoyed in Marriage. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Annoyed in Marriage.
Yeah. So basically, like when she's trying to talk to him about things, he just falls asleep while in the middle of her talking to him. He's just like...
He's even more boring and annoying than he was 42 years ago.
Wow. I wonder if Annoyed in Marriage is actually Jill Biden.
I don't know. All right.
Go ahead.
At 70 years old, I need to know how long they were actually married for.
Well, they met for 42 years ago.
42 years ago.
Yeah.
42 years.
And he's more boring and annoying now.
But is that just age catching up to you? That's a long time to be married to somebody.
That is a long
That
time.
is an incredibly long time, and you have to give yourself credit for that.
Yeah, that's
42 years together is some serious dedication, time management.
Yep. I've been through 2 marriages, and neither of them lasted more than 7 years. So.
Exactly. 42 years. Give yourself credit for that. And even if he's boring, you still lasted 42 years together.
You know what, Annoyed? I think that you are a saint for going that long.
Correct.
You know? But the question is, should she throw a pillow over his face?
No.
What?
No, you don't kill your husband of 42 years.
No, you don't kill him. It takes a long time to, like, kill somebody that way. Just knock him out.
No.
Yeah. Have him wake up a couple hours later, like, huh, what the fuck happened? You know? It's like the thrill of, like, I could do it, but I didn't do it.
I think you really got to step back. I'm giving honest advice here. You're joking.
Okay.
You're joking.
No, I'm
here.
serious.
I think you need to accept the good things, let go of the bad things, and just realize, hey, we made it 42 years.
Yeah.
It obviously wasn't that bad. You might be joking a little bit sending into the podcast, but if you lasted 42 years, it wasn't horrible.
Yeah.
There's something holding you guys together. Spice it up too.
I can see that.
Spice it up. Tell him to fucking.
How are you going to spice it up with a 70-year-old?
Oh, a 70-year-old can throw on a G-string. Wait at the top of the stairs for the bouquet of flowers, like.
I mean, Albert Fish's father was 75 when he was busting out
exactly.
Kids,
you can still have kids according to Albert Fish. So
yeah. The way I look at it is 42 years.
It's 42 years.
42 years that you wasted.
Oh no, Dave.
Here you are, 42 years later. You're bored. You're fucking annoyed. You're like, what did I do with my fucking life? You know. I don't know. That's the way I would look at it.
Yeah.
You know.
I think that's a scorn.
Yeah.
Versus a better outlook. or versus it's the scorn versus the looking to some sort of light. I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, try the pillow. See if the pillow works. Pillow doesn't work. I don't know. What's the saying that if at first you don't succeed, it's only attempted murder?
It's only attempted murder.
Yeah.
And you can go find the Criminal AF merch.
That's it. Yeah. Find that T-shirt and the hoodie on the merch shop. Yep.
If anybody doesn't tell you, I'm proud of you for sticking it out 42 years. That's a big accomplishment. Look at it like that.
Yep.
Even if you settled.
Yeah. Even though you wasted 42 years of your life.
I don't know if you were able to keep that one in.
Maybe not 42 years. Maybe half of that you wasted. You know?
Everybody gets like that, though. You become roommates at when you're 60, 70 years old. You're just hanging out.
I don't know. Some people still got the little spice, you know? They want a little spice in their life.
But it's on both people to keep that going.
I get that, but apparently he falls asleep. He's falling asleep. Like,
he's an old man. I'd fall asleep too.
She's probably like, hey, honey, can we get a little action? He's like, you know, just fucking falls asleep. So, I don't know. Try the pillow. See what happens. So there you go. There you go, annoyed in marriage. How's that?
Annoyed in marriage.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. All right. Next up, we have Naughty in Neverland.
Naughty in Neverland is probably the best, Patreon name, whatever we've heard. Naughty in Neverland.
Yep. All right. I need some bad advice.
Especially for the Albert Fish fucking episode. Yeah. Come on.
I need some bad advice there, douchebags. I've been talking with a friend, quote unquote, late at night.
Oh, no.
We've only met once in real life, and that meeting, it was harmless. But lately, we've become a little bit more flirtatious, and there may or may not have been some topless pics that were sent.
Okay.
Side note, I also may be married. Dying to know what you guys think.
What are we just marriage counselors here?
I guess.
Criminal AF?
I guess we're working on marriages here. I guess so. I don't know.
All right, so you sent nudie pictures?
Well,
is this what she's saying?
Yeah, I sent topless pics. Okay.
I sent topless pics and was flirting with somebody that I met once.
Yeah. But I mean, I would imagine they've been talking. I don't know.
Yeah. Obviously, they met up in person once.
Yeah.
It was harmless.
Yeah.
And then they've been more flirtatious on the phone. Just like a normal relationship starts.
Like they met.
I don't know. There's so much.
They met and maybe one of them hit the other one up on Facebook or something. Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of unanswered questions here that we have to know the information before. Is her marriage going well? Is she happily married? Is she just looking for some excitement?
A little spice. Yeah.
What are we talking here?
How far is it going to go?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Are you joking? Are you just sending topless pictures to like feel alive again?
Right.
There's so much unknown in this question.
There is, yeah.
It's still wrong. Still wrong.
Still wrong?
Still wrong.
Okay.
You're still married. You're still sending topless pictures. You're still flirting.
Yep.
Better than a hoot shot, but
yeah. Don't send the hoochie.
I would need to know more to actually really answer this question.
Yeah. Well, hypothetically speaking, healthy marriage.
Healthy marriage, okay.
Okay.
Healthy marriage. You guys are good. You're loving. You're still having sex. You got.
Yeah.
Okay.
And things are great, and you're doing this. I don't know. I would probably be pissed if I was the husband.
I would be too.
If I found out about it, I'd be fucking livid.
I would be livid regardless, even if we weren't doing well. All
right. So, okay, now let's go to that. You're not doing well.
You're not doing well?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What if it's, I'm just throwing out fucking hypotheticals here.
Yeah.
What if it's, like you said, you just become friends by that time? You know? Like you're married, but it's just like, we're just friends, basically. And you're not getting that fucking spice. You need a little spice somewhere else. Do you just go ahead and just fucking, or do you handle your fucking marriage first?
I think a lot of the problems that comes down to that is communication, because I always think there's one partner in the dust left out to the wind.
On the outside looking in.
On the outside looking in. He thinks that everything's fine, or she thinks that everything's fine, and the other one says, nope, I've been unhappy for years.
Yeah.
You never,
which has
the communication was, but you know what I'm trying to say? The communication was never there.
Right.
You guys weren't communicating in the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's the sign of the downward spiral of the marriage, not just the fact that she's flirting with other dudes, sending pictures, whatever the fuck this one was. So I think that even though you say, oh, it's happily, if somebody's doing that, it's not. There's some sort of problem there.
Yeah.
So what I would say in this question is figure out what that problem is. Talk. Communicate.
Communicate. Yep.
Figure it out. Say what's wrong. Say what's on your mind.
Yeah.
And even if you have to tell them what you've been doing, you do it.
Yeah. Kind of like, hey, this is what's happening in our marriage.
Yes.
Obviously, this is an issue. We need to correct it. I've actually fucking been sending fucking tits to fucking another fucking person.
Sure. As long as, even if it's super shocking, as long as it gets the conversation going. The only way you're going to solve something is if you talk about it. I think that's the biggest problem with marriages in today's.
No communication.
You just break down. You're not the same people that you were when you got married at the beginning.
Right.
You become standoffish. You do your own thing, and you don't just talk.
Yeah. And don't be sending fucking
tits. Talk first, then send tits.
Talk it out. If it doesn't work,
and it doesn't work, send as many tits as you want.
Send your tits.
Yeah. But talk about it first. Figure it out. Figure out your problems. I don't know. Communication. I'm a huge
communication guy. I agree.
Communication. Talk.
Communication.
It doesn't matter if it's going to be an awkward conversation. She's going to get mad. Whatever.
Yeah.
Just talk about it.
Yep.
And then you always use that. Well, if we don't talk about it, I'm telling you guys, listen. Guys out there listening. You bring that up. Well, if we don't talk about it, it'll never get resolved. It'll instantly get refreshed. Even if it's a touchy subject.
Yeah.
She'll be happy that you actually at least came to her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Works.
Yep.
I'm telling you.
I've done that in the past.
Telling you.
I've done it in a relationship.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, hey,
this is the problem.
This is not working out.
Even if she gets mad about it.
Yeah.
It's better to talk about
it. This is not working out the way that I would want our relationship to be working out. And this is where I'm standing at this moment.
Yep.
You know, there may or may not be, somebody else who is showing me interest.
Yep.
I do not want to reciprocate. However, because I love you.
I'm having fun.
However, if I don't feel that from you anymore.
Correct.
Obviously, then what are we doing here?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Actually,
I've been in it.
This can actually be good for you because it can steer you in the direction that you want to go in the rest of your life. You don't want to waste your time.
Right.
And if you're not happy, don't be happy. Yeah. Explain why you're not happy. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Don't just keep it fucking bottled in.
Fucking Dr. Garrett.
Don't just keep it bottled in. I'm just saying, don't keep it bottled in.
Yeah.
Just explain, because if you keep it bottled in, it's never going to end right. It's always going to end in disaster.
It's going to end bad, yeah.
So
eventually,
even if it starts to fight today, get the fight done today and figure out the problem now, then go down 10 years down the road and then have a shitty fucking ending to your relationship. FYI. It's not worth it. Get the fight done now. Fight now. Get the fuck up in someone's face. Fucking fight! I'm just kidding.
Well,
I love you all.
Yeah, Garrett, I'm impressed with you. I like that.
Okay,
that was good.
True words. 10 years, by the way.
10 years married. Yeah.
10 years married.
Yeah.
At 32, not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. Not saying I'm an expert. I'm not. I have no clue. I have no clue what I'm doing.
I'm not an expert.
No clue what I'm doing.
But it works out.
Yeah.
But I would have to say, like, for example, your marriage with Kelly, like both of you.
We fight like hell. But it's like a loving fight.
But we
communicate.
You communicate.
Correct.
Yep.
I'm telling you,
100%.
It's the biggest fucking thing.
Yep.
Communication's huge.
Mm-hmm. And by that, it puts you both on the same fucking page. You both know what is expected of each other. You know exactly.
And when we're fucking up, we know we're fucking up.
Right.
Even if we fuck up, we're like, hey, I fucked up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Wow, Garrett, I really am. I'm really impressed. That's good.
So keep sending them titty pictures.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Figure it out first.
Yes.
And then keep sending them.
That's right.
If it
doesn't go anywhere, send the titties.
Send the titties.
Whatever.
The titties.
At least you tried. You have to try.
The true crime douchebags. Send the tits.
Yeah, send the titties. I mean, I'm not going to say no to titties if anybody wants to send them, but, hey, whatever. All right. So that'll do it for this episode of Ham and Eggs Fucking Fish by Criminal AF. Let us know what you thought of this episode. Like I said before, go to Good Pod, Spotify, or leave a review on Apple Podcasts. And thank you all for hanging out with us today.
Thank you.
Head on over to criminalasfuck.com to ask us anything you'd like via our mail call tab. Or, as we just did, you want our shitty advice, go hit us up on a Dear Douchebags tab. Now, signing off from Studio Chloroform, keep your head on a swivel and stay safe till next time. See ya! Now give me our theme music! Executive producers for this episode are Christine Rivera, BethDavis, Dusty Jay Hicks, and Terry Burke-Mullet. Associate producers are Paul Hodge, Tara Mazer, Chantel Daggett, Jay from Fright Flick FMK, Sharice Webb, Corey Cribbs, Donnie Blake, and Jared Rhodes. Producers are J.D., Trent Gobble, Devin Dean, Ashley O'Connor, Lissa Perello, Alicia Knight, Maria Celine, Chris Owen, Not That Chad, Emily White, Ian Turner, Emily Dickendasher, Debbie from True Crime University, Jeanette LeBlanc, and Renee Prada. Intro and outro music by David Mercurio. Be sure to follow Criminal AF on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X, and YouTube. Check out all of our merch and many other items at debaucheddesigns.com.